to my channel. I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about today. It's something I've been wanting to do forever, and hopefully by the description or the title of the video you know what I'm going to talk about anyway, but that is going to be journals, journaling, writing, all that fun stuff. Part of the reason I wanted to do a video about this is because I recently sort of got back into journaling myself. I used to journal when I was like a teenager and all growing up. I journaled through college. It was a huge part of my life, to be honest with you. And then somewhere along the way, I kind of died away from it. Like honestly, I think it was right around the time things started getting more digital. So like things like LiveJournal and blogging and typing it on the computer and putting it out there for the world to see, I slowed down on the real actual journaling, you know. And so at some point, when I was pregnant, I think I had one before that. Yeah, I had one before that, I think. But anyway, I knew I wanted to do like a journal for being pregnant, something to maybe like give my kids one day when they were pregnant or going to be having a baby for the first time. That, and along with just some I felt kind of stressed, or like my life wasn't going the way I wanted it to go, and it just dawned on me that I hadn't been journaling. And so I wanted to get back into journaling, and I want to share with you kind of some of the things. I'm going to share with you what I am currently using, one of which is something I think it would be perfect for someone if you're just wanting to get into it, or if it's overwhelming for you to think about a blank page and how much you need to write. I have a journal that I'm actually currently using that I plan to show you that I think would be perfect for that. But before we get started, I kind of want to do a little bit of a story time with you, just to go back to like my high school years and talk about journaling and kind of something that was inspirational to me and that has really stuck with me. So I just want to show you real quick. Well, hang on. Okay. So these are two journals from my high school. Now, the one I really wanted to show you, I couldn't find. We just moved, and I'm not actually. Wait a minute. I think I do know where it is. I found it. Okay. So, how many of you had one of these, right? So this was from 94 through, how long did I write in this? 99. Wow, I actually kept up with this journal for a while. So it takes me a while to go through journals, and that's not new. I still take a while to go through journals. But anyway, so this one I love, and look, I've lost a lock. I have no idea where the lock is, but that's okay. So I've got that one. And then this one I loved. This was given to me as a gift by my best friend's mom. And it was neat because it has like the prompts. So it has, today I feel good about, something that I experienced today, the latest with friends and family, today's news and weather happenings, people who touched my life today, I was fortunate to receive today, what I did to touch someone's life today, and plans for an even better tomorrow. And then on the opposite page, it's just notes and thoughts. So it gives you a lot of room to just write. So I actually did this one pretty well. Let me see. No, I made it about halfway through. But this was my senior year of high school. It was from 2000. Yeah, so this was from about 2000 to 2002. And I graduated in 2002. So I have this one. And then this is the one I want to talk to you guys about. So when I was a junior in high school, we had an English teacher named Mr. Sechrist, and I actually had him for junior and senior year, and this one was from the fall of 2005. So this was my senior year because I graduated in the spring of 2006. And so what I want to tell you guys about this journal is that we had this assignment. We had to bring a composition notebook. A journal does not have to be fancy. If you have a notebook, you can journal, okay? So we had to have this composition notebook. We had to bring it every day to class. We had to write for 10 minutes nonstop. That was our assignment every single day. I loved that class. I loved those 10 minutes a day. Now let's see. Sure, you might write and be like, here I am writing again. It's Tuesday. I had this for breakfast this morning. Mom and Dad didn't let me see so-and-so last night, or didn't let me talk to it on the phone. You know, it might be very like surface level, but the more you write, the more you get into it, the more you realize, like you kind of, sorry, let me try that again. The more you write, sometimes you come out with something deeper. So like you might eventually start talking about something that's really deep and true into your heart. And that's what I loved about it. And sometimes you might not. Sometimes you might just write surface level stuff, and that is fine. You're still getting it out there. And then other times you might write something a little more deeper, or who knows, you might end up writing a poem that day, or song lyrics, or who knows, a letter to somebody. It does not matter what you write. You just have to write for 10 minutes every day. So that would be tip number 1, I would say. Maybe we'll do this in tip style. Tip number 1, if you're looking to get into journaling, write for 10 minutes every single day. And it can be in something as simple as a composition notebook. It does not have to be expensive. It does not have to be fancy. It's just all words. It is not fancy. It's, you know, it is what it is. So this is my junior year. And actually, hang on. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Thanks to Mr. Seacrest, my junior and senior English teacher in high school, I'm going to try the writing to 10 minutes nonstop thing. I really need to start finding my inner peace and learning more about myself. I'm confused. Oh, I didn't pay attention to the dates, you guys. This was actually in the spring of 05. So it was this is confusing me. Spring of 05 would have been as a junior. So maybe I had him in the fall and I just decided to continue it in the spring. I am confused because I really thought this was my class notebook. But I went all the way into September of 05, but I didn't graduate until 06. So anyway, my junior and senior English teacher. I'm a little bit confused. Oh wait! This is from college. Where have I been? This is my college one. Okay. I don't know where my high school one is then. Okay. Goodness, I was confused. I graduated college in 2006. This was in 2005. So this was like my junior year in college. So I was thinking back to my junior and senior year of high school when I started writing in this book. So anyway, I obviously needed to get back into writing, and that's what I chose to do. See how simple it can be. So that's tip number 1. Write for 10 minutes a day. Just write whatever comes to mind, and it doesn't have to be fancy. I just want to show y'all, this was another one I found, and it was from after college. Yes, this was from right after college, right after I graduated, but I only made it through I only made it through like a couple pages, like not that many pages. I didn't do very well. So pretty much from that point on, from right after college, about 2006 until I was married, and after I was married sometime in 2008 is when I stopped journaling. Okay, so those are the journals I no longer use. I just have those. And then I want to talk to you about the journals I'm using today. And so this will be tip number 2. So for tip number 2, I would encourage you to consider a 10-year journal. If you are someone who gets overwhelmed by seeing a huge page, like if this scares you, if you see this huge piece of paper and you're like, what am I going to write? That's too much to write and you don't like this. Well, then a 10-year journal might be the journal for you. It looks like this. So this, I just turn to a page. This is October 4th. Happy anniversary to my cousin and her husband. So as you can see, it started in 2013. It started in January. I just happened to flip to the middle, but it starts in January of 2013 and it goes all the way down to 2023. Every day you just get a small little section to journal on, like just a few lines. So this is perfect because it's just enough to basically say, here's what we did today. It was a good day, it was a bad day. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, you know, just real straightforward. So let me just pick one from this day. Let's see, what did I write? Let's see, October 4th, 2013. Last full day of maternity leave, and I think Ian could tell because he was very clingy. I assume it's a growth spurt, but I literally could not lay him down. 2 30-minute naps today, went to bed at 8:15 p.m. And then I was gonna say, so the cool thing too about it being a 10-year journal, like I put happy anniversary up here at the top, that's something you can remember. And if you come on down, let's see. So on 2014, that's when she got married, I wrote, my little Miss Emily, her last name, is now Miss Emily, her new last name. It was cold and windy, but otherwise beautiful, and she was a gorgeous bride. It was a little stressful, so I'll say 3 out of 5. So that was something I was doing. I was trying to check my mood and like when I was overwhelmed or when I was feeling good. So I just arbitrarily picked a 1 out of 5 scale. 5 out of 5 meaning it was the best day ever. Everything was great. I was in the best of moods. We were great. 1 out of 5 was like depression. Like I didn't want to get out of bed. I was really angry. I lost my temper a lot. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's what's awesome. And so what else I was going to say about this is I would often, it's something you can do for like 5 minutes before you go to bed. I would sit down and I would write, and then I would look up and say, oh, Bradley, my husband, Bradley, you realize that a year ago we did this, or 2 years ago today we did this. So it's just really neat for even like just memory tracking and history tracking. And I have, seriously, like there are rarely any pages that I have missed in this book, and I'm so proud of that. Rarely any days that I have missed in this book. So I plan to fully fill this sucker up, and this is what I do every single night before I sit down to go to bed. So if this is something that you think might interest you or someone else, like I said, it's not a huge commitment because it's just a few little lines. Consider using this, and I will try to link to it down below. I did get mine from Amazon. The 10-year journal. They also have something like this, which is only 5 years. This one is specific for mom's 1 line a day, a 5-year memory book. But I also know they have just a generic one that's, I think it's like the color blue, and it doesn't say moms. I think the only difference with this one is that it says moms and it's pink. Okay, so the inside of it is no different. So if you look, it's got every day of the week. Now this is blank, so you can fill in the years that you decide to start. But it's only 5 days, and it really is literally only enough. It's not even as much as that unless you write really tiny. It's just enough to kind of say something very brief. Like I kind of wanted to use it as a positive thing about motherhood. As a stay-at-home mom, it's hard to stay positive, okay? Like you have your rough days, and I just wanted to try to find one good thing out of every day that I appreciated about motherhood. So that's what I attempt to put in here. I'm not gonna lie, there are some days where I haven't been positive, but for the most part, I try to keep this positive. So like today I said, enjoyed, or this was February 13th, enjoyed going to Ian's school today to be part of his Valentine's Day party. Here's one, January 26th. Loved how well behaved the boys were today. We spent the morning cleaning the playroom, and then I had to work in the afternoon. So, you know, it's just, oh, I like the one I just read, actually. Let me read that one. It says, where is it? Austin said cheese today when we were at Five Guys, and I was taking their picture. It was so cute. So it was the first time he said cheese, you know. So just positive things, but it doesn't have to, that's just what I'm using it for. You know, people do things like gratitude journals. You could do the same idea with this because it's such a small place to write. But it can just be a regular journal. Like you don't have to be specific with it. You can just write, here's what I did today type journaling, or this is really bothering me type journaling, that kind of thing. So, you know, a journal in my opinion, it should be something to calm you, to be a stress reliever. It should be something where maybe if you don't feel like you can talk to anyone else about it, you could write it down and get it out that way, get it off your chest kind of thing. So then the last thing I want to talk to you about is, so those two journals I'm currently using every day, every night before bed, I write in those two journals. And then this last journal is the other piece to my current journaling setup. So this is a traveler's notebook. And so real quick, what I want to show you that is, you can see it has this elastic here. If you're not familiar with a traveler's notebook, it's really just this piece of leather here with elastic and these little inserts. So here you see that piece of elastic running down the spine, and I can just slip this out. So it's just a little notebook that looks like this. And so in this particular traveler's notebook, I have 3 of these. This is a standard size notebook. And what I do with the 3 of these are this. This one is for my son. So you can see I just decorated this. They come plain. This has like a cardboard, like that material. This is coming off like that material. And I just covered it with some paper and tried to decorate it up a little bit. But this is for my son Ian. And so I write to him, and I don't get too fancy, but you know, I put in some washi tape and some pictures, and this is just me writing things to him, or including things that I just want him to have one day and to be able to see and read back on one day. So this is for him. And so those I write in just when I get the chance. You know, I might sit down and write a bunch one day, or I might try to write, you know, here and there. This one is for my other son, Austin, so I decorated it like this. And same idea. I don't think it's as decorated as the other one, but it's just got some little writings to him and a couple things. And you know, I like to get a little fancy. So I might do a flip through on these at some point. If you would like to see that, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to do that. And then the last one is like my personal journal. So my last journal in the traveler's notebook is my personal one, okay? Now this is new. So tip number 3 is going to be to have fun with it. You know, do what makes you happy. And I have learned that I used to scrapbook a lot, but I don't do that anymore. It just feels a little too much, too specific to scrapbook. And so that's what I love about this, because I love to journal, but I also love to scrapbook, and this is kind of a happy marriage between the two. So tip number 3 is to have fun with it. So as you can see, I've kind of decorated this for myself, and just kind of a look through kind of what I've got going here. So this is just my personal journal. So this is where I write about what's going on in my life, what I feel, what I'm doing, any memories I want to remember. That's just, I love this too. I added Christmas cards in this one, so that actually really bulked it up. But anyway, I thought that was a neat way to capture all the Christmas cards, because those are things that I always just kind of throw in a box and then I never really look at them again. So there's some places I might come back and decorate later that I haven't decorated yet. But little, like, I'm trying to learn how to draw. I'm not good at it, but anyway. I'm having fun doing it. Some little tip-ins. These are called tip-ins, where you just put a piece of washi tape in. Those are from Erin Condren. Another one. And you know, you can see I've got just a few pages left. I'm so close to finishing this one. I can't wait to finish it. So when I do finish it, I do intend to do a flip through of this one. But if you're interested to see the others as well, I can certainly do that. But this is just, this is what I have kind of settled on being my personal journaling. The other 2 journals, you know, are just very specific, like a quick thing about my kids in the mom's journal, and then maybe a general overview of what we did that day, or if something big happened that day in the 10-year journal. And so this is where I can go deeper. I can write for pages and pages and pages if I want to. I can include pictures or whatever, ephemera, or you know, just memorabilia from my life, ticket stubs or whatever, I can include in this one. And I just imagine, I love thinking about having these. This is my first one, so I love thinking about having these just like stacked on a bookshelf, or even in a box. They can be in a box, and one day my kids or my grandkids or even my great-grandkids kind of read through it one day. love it. And I don't censor it. I mean, I don't necessarily write about really like deep, dark, horrible things anyway. It just is not something that comes up. I guess I have a pretty peaceful life or something is what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is there's nothing in here that I wouldn't want someone to read, and that's not because I don't put it in here. That's just because I feel pretty open, and I try to be open. Like, I want to be open. I don't want to have things that I wouldn't want someone to read. So I actually will put anything in here, and if kids, grandkids, whoever read it one day, family members, friends, that's fine, because that's who I am, that's who I was when I wrote it. That's, you know, maybe affected me in some way, and then they will understand why. Like, who knows what would come of it. But I would encourage you not to censor these, not to worry about people reading them. And you know, if you do have someone who, like an older brother or sister who picks on you about journaling or whatever, I get it. You know, maybe you can have some kind of combination journal. If I can find it again, I'll link to it. I actually gave one as a gift to a cousin in the family, a younger cousin in the family, and it's an actual combination lock one. So that's even better, because like if you lose the key or someone else gets the key, they can get into it. But if you can memorize a combination lock, then they can't get into it. So I thought that was pretty neat. Anyway, what I'm here to say is you should journal. Write things down. It is so therapeutic. And yeah, I love it, and I hope that I would love for you guys to love it too. So if you've never journaled, give it a try. So let's just real quick, I don't even know if I remember my tips. So tip number 1 was write for 10 minutes a day, and it doesn't have to be fancy, hence the composition notebook. Tip number 2 is to try out a 10-year journal or a 5-year journal, because it's not overwhelming and it's straight and to the point if you're overwhelmed by the blank page. And then tip number 3 would be to have fun with it, get creative, be artsy, and yeah, just do it. Just go write. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I will try to include links down below for anything that that I talked about today that I can link to. That way, if you're interested, you can go buy it. And I will add that this particular traveler's notebook, if it's something that you would be interested in, I feel like this one is super economical, is that the right term? Because it was only $40, and it included this insert and 2 other inserts and a smaller sized traveler's notebook. So you actually get 2 notebooks and 6 inserts for $40. And if you look for traveler's notebooks, you'll notice that they usually run a lot higher than that. I will add that I don't love the way this leather smells. I mean, it doesn't smell horrible, but there's other leathers that feel and smell a lot nicer. But if you're just starting out and you want to give it a try, this is not a bad option. That's exactly what I was thinking when I purchased it, that I just wanted to try it out and I didn't want to spend a lot of money. So anyway, this is what I'm using because I do like this size. It's the standard size, but I do want to get a new one, and I want to get one that's wider. I might even try to make one because once they get stuffed, as you can see, it's kind of overhang here. It really sticks out from the notebook as well, and I don't like that. So I want one that's a little bit wider, like an inch wider, to make sure all my inserts stay protected and inside the notebook. But anyway, that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so excited to talk to you about my journals. If you have any questions, please let me know. Leave comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, or if you'd like to see when I do some flip throughs and those types of videos. You'll know when I upload new videos if you subscribe. And that is all from me. So thank you again so much for watching. Bye guys.